Hey, everybody, it is time for my week 5 college football picks. But before I get into that, I got a very special guest joining me this week for the picks. You know him as one of the hosts of the DK and Bill Wrestling podcast. You know him as one of the hosts of the History and Legacy of Sports, the podcast. Let's welcome DK.
Uh, there should be like an applause thing or something. Like it sounds like nobody likes me at all.
The
So
crowd is going mild. Um,
I
before
appreciate that. Thanks for having me. And yeah, looking forward to talking a little college football with you.
ah Well, before we get into the picks last week had another good week. Went 16-5 on my picks. Almost had my upset last week. Damn you, Oregon. Damn you all. Messed me up. So anyway, before we get into the picks, DK, I'm curious in a good way. Why'd you want to come on this week?
Well, to be honest, I've been watching the videos, and you're doing a very good job. And I kind of wanted to test my knowledge against the great Bill here.
All right.
That's maybe you might have to change the show title to the Great Bill's Picks, but one day.
I actually have another idea just in case, but I won't reveal it
To
yet.
be honest, we have the wrestling show, and then we have the sports podcast that
Mhm.
we will get back into. It's been
Yes,
a
we will.
while. I One of my biggest pastimes is college football because I love watching the guys coming up and who's
Mhm.
going to be the next great player in the NFL.
Yeah.
So and I know that you're big into this, so I thought it was a nice opportunity to kind of discuss college with you
Yeah, absolutely.
for a week. So
So, for those of you that have never seen this before, usually I do the top 25 teams, straight up picks, but I will mention the point spread for those that are curious about the point spread. So don't worry, you betters out there, the point spread will be mentioned. So let's begin with a Thursday night game. Utah State at 19th BYU. Utah State 1-3, BYU 3-1. BYU favored by 24.
well, this is I think this one should be somewhat easy. A 1-3 team going on the road on a short week. I'm
Mm,
assuming they played last week on
I'm
the
assuming,
Saturday.
yeah.
Um, I'm not like in tune with the Utah State schedule. It's not in front of me. I think this would be an easy money line bet. You're probably not going to make a lot of money if you're just doing a one gamer. Did you say it's 24 and a half points?
24 points.
Okay. Um, Usually you get about 3 points for being at home. That's the way I see it. So you got a 3 touchdown spread here for me if it's a straight up. So yeah, this is a easy one for me.
Yeah, this is pretty easy as well. I see BYU winning this game. They're just a really good club. I think they just had that one hiccup at Oregon. And this is interesting because next week is the game against Notre Dame in Las Vegas. But this is a good warm up for the game against Notre Dame. I'm agreeing with you. I'm going BYU on this one.
So I wonder if there could be upset alert here looking ahead to Notre Dame. Do you think there's a percentage of a chance?
It's
In
low.
in Vegas, there could be a lot of these kids looking forward to the big stage. I definitely like when I'm making bets for underdogs, I always look at who the team they're playing is playing the next week or who they
Mhm.
just played.
Right.
So this could be one of those opportunities. I'm not taking this as my underdog,
Right.
but I wouldn't be surprised if somehow they came up with some crazy win here because we've all seen the Appalachian states of the
Hmm.
world happen in college football, which is so awesome when it does,
Yeah.
honestly.
Oh yeah.
Then you see the fans of that school, the small school, when they beat a team like Michigan,
Hmm.
like unreal, and it's always awesome for the sport.
It
Because one
is.
thing with college is you do see a lot of the same teams always kind of dominating and winning.
All right. Then we have a Friday night game. 15th ranked Washington at UCLA. Both teams 4-0. Washington favored by a field goal.
Yeah, like Washington is a small favorite here, and UCLA is an unranked 4-0, aren't they?
Yeah, they are.
So is this just like not getting the respect, or have they not played anyone? The strength of schedule is not there.
The strength isn't there. Plus, there was one game about a week or two ago that they just squeaked by on,
Yeah.
and they haven't really convinced me.
Did you say this was
UCLA,
Washington State or Washington?
Washington.
Okay. Yeah, they did sneak out a win last week. I remember watching a little bit of that game.
Mm-hmm.
2.5. Okay, yeah, but this is just for whoever wins. If they win by one, we still get the win, right?
Pretty much.
I'm
Yeah.
gonna take UCLA on this one.
All
I
right.
Now I'm assuming this game is gonna be late at night.
Yes, it is.
Now it's not like Washington is traveling too far. They also play in that time zone.
Same time zone. Yeah.
So it's not a huge advantage, but I see the crowd in UCLA maybe pump them up, and then maybe they'll get a little recognition if they get to 5-0.
Yeah.
So that would, I guess, technically the upset. It's not a huge upset. It's 2.5 points.
Yeah.
But that would probably be my pick for upset. So yeah, I'm gonna take UCLA.
I'm gonna go with Washington on this one. Again, I'm not really convinced in UCLA right now. If they have a banger performance of a game here, then maybe I'll be convinced. But the way Washington handled Michigan State a couple of weeks ago, and then Stanford, which isn't really that good of a football team this year, I'm going to go with Washington on this one. I think they will win, and I think they're going to go over the 3. I think they're going to go over the line on that one. Now to the games on Saturday. 4th ranked Michigan is at Iowa. Michigan 4-0, Iowa 3-1. Michigan favored by 10.5.
Yeah, like Michigan, their schedule hasn't been too tough yet. Their last week's game was a little bit closer.
I said that last week.
Yeah,
it will be closer than what the
it
points
will be closer than what was the point
like
spread there? 30 something or something.
I got
it. Crazy.
It was 16.5, 17 points.
This is the thing that bothers me about college football. So I'm gonna just kind of rant for I'll just take a minute.
Okay.
I think the top 4 teams in college football are the top 4 teams right now.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, 2 of them probably won't be in the college football playoff because of the way the schedule is going to turn out.
Right.
Like Michigan will have to play Ohio State, and Alabama will have to play Georgia. So one of them, I think one of those will probably not be in the playoff because of it.
Mm-hmm.
So every game is so important. Like Michigan has to win all these games and look dominant when they win. So if they do get a loss to Ohio State, then they will still have that, like, for the committee.
Yeah.
It'll still be considered, okay, well, they lost to Ohio State, but look at the rest of the season. They deserve to be in there. So that's why I'm going to take Michigan here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see an upset here. Michigan looks a little different than past years for me. So I'm going Michigan.
I think this is a game that Iowa could beat Michigan. They could. Even though they had a slow start to the year, they, didn't score a touchdown. I think like their first game and a half of this season.
Yeah.
And they're 3-1. And Iowa's such a hard place to play. It doesn't matter what team it is. It is always hard to play there. Mm-hmm. This is going to be a true test for Michigan. And I think if they can pass this, I think they're going to be fine. And
yeah,
I think they will pass it. I think Michigan will win this game, but I'm going to say it again, like I did last week. I think it's going to be a little bit closer than what the experts have it as.
Was it 12?
10.5.
10.5?
Mm-hmm.
I'll say they cover that. I think it's probably 14.
Okay. This next game, this is an Very interesting one. 7th ranked Kentucky at 14th ranked Ole Miss. Both teams 4-0. Ole Miss favored by 6.5.
I saw that. Like, Kentucky is getting no love here.
They are not.
Like, they're ranked higher.
Mm-hmm.
They have the same record. They're in the same conference.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Kentucky is always like, in football, it's like, oh, well, you're a basketball school.
Exactly.
Same as
Not
Canada.
this year. Not this year.
Duke, like, don't get love in football. This is like Kentucky's time, I think. But unfortunately, I'm taking Ole Miss because I have no respect for Kentucky too. I don't see them. Like, a lot of like preseason polls like had them in that playoff type, and I'm like, I don't see it. I see them losing like 2 or 3 games in conference. So yeah, I'm going Ole Miss here, and I say they cover the spread too. I was just surprised by the spread. Like, I think they will cover it, but I was surprised of how high it was.
Yeah.
At a 4-0 team.
I definitely understand why Ole Miss is favored, because the previous game Kentucky had was against Northern Illinois and they won by like 8 points. So I definitely see that. But like you said, this team is just on the rise. It's their time. And I've bought into Kentucky after the game they have with Florida. I've really bought into them. I'm going to say Kentucky wins this game. I think it's going to be close, but I think Kentucky's going to find a way to win on the road and stay undefeated.
Wow. Okay. So at least if I lose the UCLA game, I have a chance here to tie you at the point.
All right. 18th ranked Oklahoma is at TCU. Oklahoma 3-1, TCU 3-0. Oklahoma favored by 6.5.
Yeah, Oklahoma coming off a loss too.
Shocking loss.
Shocking. I can't. What do you have the number in front? What they were favored by last week?
Yeah. Let me.
I remember they were down 14-0 like very quickly.
They were favored by 13.
Okay, I thought it was higher for some reason. I think Oklahoma bounces back here. I don't think TCU will be able to stop Oklahoma's offense.
Yeah.
What's the spread here?
6.5.
Okay. I feel like if Oklahoma had won last week, this would be like double-digit spread.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I'm going to say Oklahoma wins big here. I'm going to say they win by 20.
All right. Yeah, I agree with you. I think Oklahoma's going to rebound this week. TCU, they're kind of like a lot of college teams where it's like you get the 3, non-conference game wins, then you go into conference play. Let's see how you do there. I do see Oklahoma winning, and I think it's going to be much more than the 6.5.
They do have a cool mascot, though.
Oh, the Horned Frogs.
The Horned Frogs.
Yep.
Pretty cool name.
Yep. Never seen one in real life, though.
No.
Not on my bucket list of things I want to see, but
yeah, they don't have a whole lot of horned frogs here in Canada, so I don't even know what I would do if I saw one.
Yeah. Purdue travels to 21st ranked Minnesota. Purdue 2-2, Minnesota 4-0. The Golden Gophers favored by 12.5.
Yeah. This is my favorite NFL player's alma mater, and I'm not going to fall for it and pick them. Drew Brees, my favorite player, if you guys didn't know. I have a Drew Brees Purdue jersey that I wear on Saturdays a lot. And a lot of times I bet on Purdue and it doesn't go well for me. So yeah, I'm not going that route this week.
Yeah, I'm going to Minnesota. They are clearly the team of the West Division of the Big Ten. I thought maybe, if Wisconsin could do good, could improve, I thought maybe they'd be, but it doesn't look like it's going to be them. I think this is Minnesota's division to lose at this point in time. They just look really good. So I'm gonna say Minnesota wins, and you know what? What is it? 12.5? I think they're gonna go over that 12.5 on that one.
Yeah, I kind of see them getting up big and then running the ball and playing good defense. I don't see Purdue doing much against them.
Yeah, I don't either. All right. Texas Tech is at 25th ranked Kansas State. Both teams 3-1. Kansas State favored by 8.
Yeah. Texas, like, I'll be honest, I haven't seen either of these teams play this year yet. Texas Tech has always been like that high air raid type offense. I'm assuming that they're still kind of the same style of team.
Yeah.
Patrick Mahomes and Cliff Kingsbury offense back in the day. That was a good watch if you were into that kind of football. What was the spread you said here?
8 points for Kansas State.
That seems high. Now, I think I would take Kansas State here in kind of like a high scoring game, but if we were betting on the spread, I would take the 8 points. So I'm not taking Texas Tech to win outright, but I think they would cover this spread.
I'm actually going to take Texas Tech on this one.
This is your upset then, 8 point.
I've got
You got another one bigger? Wow.
Well, actually, no. You know what? You're right. This would be my upset.
Okay.
As far as the point spread goes, I'm going to go Texas Tech as my upset of the week. They just look really good. I think they should be undefeated. I don't remember who they lost to, but it was a very close game recently. And this could be the sleeper team of the Big 12. Like, they could sneak into the Big 12 title game this year if they keep playing the way they do.
Yeah, especially Oklahoma losing. So,
yeah. Oregon State is at 12th ranked Utah. Both teams 3-1. Utah favored by 10.5.
Why don't you take this one to start?
All right. Utah is just a good team. I know a lot of people had them going to the college football playoffs when the season began, but I didn't think they were. And well, right now I'm kind of right in that thought. But we got a long way to go. I just like Utah in this one. This just looks like a real good team here. I think they will win, and I think they're just gonna barely cover the spread on this one.
So what is the spread between the two teams?
10.5.
10.5 for Utah? Yeah, like Utah, I know they lost a game earlier this year. They were kind of like that top Pac-12 team.
Yeah.
Going in, like maybe them and USC to kind of knock off maybe the dominance of like the Big 12 and the SEC in the playoff.
Yeah.
I was like you. You see Utah, they're not intimidating. You don't worry about them really. I think they get that credit yet. But yeah, I got Utah winning this, especially if it's a straight up pick.
All right. Number 2, Alabama at 20th ranked Arkansas. Alabama 4-0. Arkansas 3-1. Alabama favored by 17.5.
Yeah. This could be another situation like when they ran into Texas. The crowd, everyone gets up for Alabama. You want to knock off Alabama. I don't see Alabama losing here. I really don't see them losing until the SEC title game.
Right.
So it's an easy pick for me. Like, I don't know about the spread. Like, that's kind of a high spread for in conference road. So I would probably, I don't think I would even pick Arkansas plus the points. I'd probably just stay away from this one. It's kind of hard to predict, but yeah, Alabama straight up though.
If Arkansas had not lost to Texas A&M, I think this point spread would be in the single digits. I really do.
If it was in the single digits, then I think I would be taking Bama.
Yeah. I'm going to go Alabama for the win here. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know if 17.5 is going to work on this one, actually. I think Arkansas is going to make it a little bit closer, but I just like Alabama winning this one. Rutgers goes to third ranked Ohio State. Rutgers 3-1. Ohio State 4-0. The Buckeyes are favored by 40.5 points. Jeez.
Is this like the biggest spread for a 3-1 team ever?
This might be.
Why are they even having this game? Just, yeah. And I'm all about the Buckeyes this year. I like the way their team's made up. 41, damn.
Mhm.
I took them to win by 31 a couple weeks ago, and they put up 77 points. So I think it could be another one of those kind of games. Um, if I'm Ohio State, I'd be a little bit concerned on my defense, giving up, like touchdowns and stuff when they don't need to be doing that. But yeah, this is easy, man. Ohio State for sure.
I think this is the easiest one of the whole week. This is Ohio State, hands down.
I honestly think the spread might be too low. Like this could be like a 50 burger.
Ooh. Wow.
I think like 67-10 type of thing, you know. By the second half, you're just sitting outside because you're not even watching it anymore.
Yeah. Oh, they scored again.
Is this a 10 a.m. game?
It's 3:30 here, so it'd be like 1:30 over.
Oh, okay. So that's the like the way our schedule works, like 10 a.m. and then 1:30 and then 5 or 6.
There's some stuff I still get used to between here and mountain time in Canada. So
yeah.
9th ranked Oklahoma State at 16th ranked Baylor. Oklahoma State 3-0, Baylor 3-1. Baylor favored by 2.5.
Oh, this is basically a pick 'em.
Yeah.
Like my logic, 3 points for home team. Baylor's looked okay. I'll probably just go Baylor here, basically because they're at home. Mm-hmm. For me, like it's hard for me to pick a winner out of these two, so I'm going Baylor.
This was kind of a hard one to pick, but I'm gonna go with Oklahoma State. I think this is their year to win the Big 12. I really do. They just look like a complete package. Mike Gundy, one of the best coaches in the country, going today. I'm going to go with OK State. They're going to get their revenge from losing the Big 12 title game here. Northwestern travels to 11th ranked Penn State. Northwestern 1-3, Penn State 4-0. The Nittany Lions are favored by 26.5 points.
Yeah. And Northwestern's definitely having a down year. I kind of expect a little bit more from them.
Mm-hmm.
1-3 through 4 weeks.
Yeah.
And Penn State should be favored by 26.5 in this one, I think.
Right.
Now, I don't know if they're going to cover that. I don't know how high scoring Penn State can do in this game, but I'm taking Penn State to win. I probably would stay away from the point spread.
Oh, excuse me. I am also going with Penn State on this one. They look like they could be the biggest threat. I mean, they usually are annually, but I think this year more than any other year, I think they're the biggest threat to Oklahoma or to Ohio State and Michigan to take that division, because Michigan State's just kind of falling apart. I don't see Michigan State playing that big of a factor. So watch out for Penn State the rest of the way.
Yeah, I think Michigan or Ohio State would have to lose the game before they play each other for Penn State to be in there.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, stranger things have happened.
It has. 22nd Wake Forest is at 23rd ranked Florida State. Wake Forest 3-1, Florida State 4-0. The Seminoles favored by 6.5.
Yeah, Florida State kind of ripped my heart out week 1. That crazy game. I'm an LSU fan, if you didn't know. So, yeah, I'm going to go with Florida State. They played very well in that game. I haven't seen much of them since that game.
Right.
But they looked really good going into the Superdome there in the hostile crowd. So I'm going Florida State here.
I'm going to go with Wake Forest after the performance they had against Clemson last week. They probably should have won that game last week. I think they're going to be able to rebound and they're going to beat Florida State. I just don't think Florida State is as good of a team as everyone's making out to be. They won that game against LSU on basically a fluke.
Yeah.
You know, if we're looking at it.
They were kind of dominating the second and third quarter in that game.
Yeah.
And to go on your point and kind of argue the other side, being so close to knocking off 5th ranked Clemson Tigers and then losing.
Yeah.
That, like, it's going to be like till Thursday when they stop thinking about it.
Mm-hmm.
So this could be, and then you're going in and Florida State is the favorite in this game, right?
Yes.
So that's another reason why I kind of took them.
All right. 17th ranked Texas A&M at Mississippi State. Both teams 3-1. Mississippi State favored by 3.5.
Yeah, this is kind of a tough one too. I'll go Texas A&M here. I like them as an upset.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Texas A&M as well on this one. They had that big win against Arkansas. That was such a good game back and forth. I think they found their groove now. After the loss to Appalachian State, I think they found their groove. They're getting back into the swing of things. I'm going to take Texas A&M. Georgia, the number 1 team of the country, is at Missouri. Georgia 4-0, Missouri 2-2. Georgia is favored by 28 points.
Okay, and I think that's about 14 too low. Georgia is the most complete team in the country. They lost what was it, 15 people to the first or second round of the draft, and they're still dominating.
Yeah.
It's just like Alabama. You send one guy, and then you got 3 more that can take over. It's starting to look a lot like Alabama. Kirby Smart was there, so I kind of see what's happening here. Georgia, big.
Okay, I just want to say real quick to all of you who are saying, oh, how could Georgia give up 22 to Kent State? Shut up. Just shut up.
They felt bad for them. It's like when you're playing your kids in Madden and you're beating them by 5 touchdowns, you let them score a couple, make them feel good. Kent State is like a little kid.
Yeah.
You let them score a little bit, make them feel good.
But I'm taking
that was surprising. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
Like Kent State has the most points against Georgia of any team this year.
Well,
like who had that in the bingo card?
Not me.
Right?
But yeah, I got Georgia winning this one.
Shocker.
This is like a no-brainer.
I got Missouri. Okay.
Oh my God, if I did that.
Oh man.
All right. 10th ranked North Carolina State at 5th ranked Clemson. Both teams 4-0. Clemson favored by 6.5.
Yeah, NC State's been kind of like a lucky 4-0. Eh? Like they're supposed to be good, and then they're like winning randomly, and guys missing field goals and extra points. Like Clemson for sure here for me. What's the point spread?
6.5.
Oh, okay. Clemson with the spread too. I think they win by 14.
I'm going to surprise you. I
think that one's easy.
I'm going to take North Carolina State to win.
Come on, man. What are you doing?
I'm going to tell you why. Clemson was in such a draining emotional game that they're not going to be focused for North Carolina State.
That's how teams come together.
They're going to pull that upset.
Clemson,
everyone.
Clemson had a year where they weren't part of the playoff. They were always there. I think they're coming back. They might get that 4th spot, whoever loses between Michigan and Ohio State. So this is a huge game for Clemson.
Oh, absolutely.
Huge.
Absolutely.
And I think I'm going to beat you now. All right. I was worried. But now you're making NC State picks, so, it's all good. I probably should go back and change that UCLA one, but, I'll roll with it.
Yeah. Georgia Tech is at 24th ranked Pitt. Georgia Tech 1-3, Pitt 3-1. Pitt favored by 23.5.
Does Georgia Tech still not throw it? Do they still do the triple option all the time?
I don't know. Look, they fired their AD. They fired their head coach. I'm just not going to pick Georgia Tech against any ranked team the rest of the way this year.
I don't even know if I would take Georgia Tech in like any kind of game.
So that kind of tells you who I'm picking on this one.
But there's always like a time where they're in their bowl game and then they dominate because no one can stop the triple option.
Mm-hmm.
Now, is Pitt one of those teams? I don't think so. I think Pitt. And the point spread was pretty high, right?
23.5.
That's pretty high. I would probably take Georgia Tech with the points, but I'll take Pitt outright here.
Yeah, I'm going to take Pitt.
Probably like a 14-point victory here for them. 23 is pretty high.
Arizona State travels to 6th ranked USC. Arizona State 1-3. USC 4-0. USC favored by 26.
This is another 50 burger. USC at home under the lights. It's a prime time, I'm assuming.
Mm-hmm.
It usually is.
Yeah.
Arizona State is in massive trouble here.
Yeah.
Yeah, USC big.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'd definitely take the with the spread here.
Yeah. I'm going USC on this one. This is like,
huge win, I'd
this
say.
isn't even close.
52-3. My prediction. Now USC does give up some garbage points usually in games, so
yeah,
but they're gonna put up 50 for sure. Hit the over. Well, I don't know what the over under is. It's probably like 7. So.
What was the over under? I could get that real quick.
It's probably like 70 something because USC
61.
Oh, see, 52-3. That's under 55. Over. Hit the over anyways. They'll get garbage touchdown.
And the final game, Stanford at 13th ranked Oregon. Stanford 1-2, Oregon 3-1. Oregon favored by 17.5.
Yeah, Stanford is so trash. Why do they suck so bad?
Remember when they were something?
And I just honestly, I hate seeing Bo Nix in that Oregon helmet. God, he's an Auburn guy. Like these guys, they get their degree and they're like, "Oh, we gotta go to a more offense, pass-heavy team, so I can maybe make the NFL." And it's just not going particularly well for him,
right.
Even though they are 3-1. Stanford, I picked them to beat USC. I thought it was going to be a huge upset. They sucked. It pissed me off. So I'm going Oregon here based on haste, basically.
Yeah, I'm going Oregon on this one too. Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. I'm not going to fall for it a second time. I'm going to take Oregon.
And Bo Nix in Oregon is weirder than seeing Russell Wilson on the Broncos.
Yeah, I gotta agree with you on that one.
Still weird. But.
So, do you all agree or disagree with our picks? Leave a comment in the comment section below. Tell us what you really think. If you like what you saw here, hit the subscribe button so you can be subscribed to, my channel and watch many more of my videos. And make sure you hit the bell. When a new video pops up.
Yeah, that's always fun. Notifications.
Yeah.
Send me messages too if you want to talk trash. I love it.
Yep.
I love interaction. Like our wrestling podcast is getting some good interaction, which is nice.
Yeah, we are.
I love the controversial takes that we have. So
well, thank you, DK, for coming in this week. And
thank you for having me.
Thank you all for watching this video. Hope you enjoy your week 5 college football.